Welcome to another episode. This time we got Grilling with Gryba and The Edge.
Eric, Gryba, and myself, Joe Eppele, are up here with Kisslinger Outfitters in northern Saskatchewan chasing giant black bears. We heard the bears been hitting the baits hard, so we're getting in and we're hoping that things are going to turn out great.
We got in the stand maybe 15 minutes ago. We already have bears moving around us. This is wild. My heart's jumped out of my chest.
Tune in and hopefully we can put together a great hunt for you guys.
Live on the edge, 'cause brother, win or lose, it's all in what you do with the chance you're given, yeah. Through the wind and rain, you feel your heart pounding. You got one shot, what you got? Tell me what's it gonna be? You gotta make the most of this opportunity. If others fail, make sure you succeed.
The Edge is brought to you by Browning Canada, Canadian Tire, G5 Broadheads, Prime Archery, High Mountain Seasonings, Hornady, Victory Archery, the Carbon Arrow Experts, Vortex Canada, Wolverine Guns and Tackle, Modular Driven Technologies, Sticks and Stones Anglers and Hunters, Off-Grid Food Company, and these fine sponsors.
Quiet Cat is the best hunting and overlanding e-bike in the world. Created from the bottom up to be overbuilt and overpowered. Don't be fooled by imitations. Quiet Cat, where the road ends, the adventure begins.
Eric and I made an early drive up from Saskatchewan, up here to meet Darnie and the boys up here at Kisslinger Outfitters.
I'm Darnie.
Darnie, how's it going? I'm Joe. Nice to meet you.
Darnie, Eric. Hey, nice to meet you. Yeah, thanks for having us. Drove up this morning and they've already fed us, watered us. I feel like we're horses, and and we're ready to go and hit the stand. So follow along. You guys are gonna be following me tonight in the stand, and we're gonna try and get after some big black bears. So follow along. It should be a blast. We just got dropped off here. Joe's off in another stand. There's a couple really big bears coming into the stand. So we're gonna get up there quickly here. The wind really just picked up on us. So we're gonna get up into the tree, get harnessed in and start waiting. So wish us luck, and I'm gonna grab my bow and let's go. We'll wait until hopefully comes broadside here.
We got in the stand maybe 15 minutes ago. We already have bears moving around us. We have a big bear coming in right now. We're gonna take a good look at him. We have another smaller one coming in. Looks like behind him. This is wild. My heart's jumped out of my chest. Oh, these things are so beautiful. They're so powerful. It's unbelievable. Anyway, this is just beyond cool. Anyway, follow here as we pick a good eater bear. So that's what we're after today.
We're here at Denny High School in La Loche, and we're going to be playing some more hockey with some of the students who are hockey fans. Not playing football because Joe hurt somebody, I think. So,
That's gonna be the next trip out. We're gonna get out there and do some football, so it'll be fun.
Jamie set this awesome thing up, and we're going to play some hockey and have fun with the kids.
It's gonna be a great time.
I'm pumped. So
Yeah.
anyway, watch me dangle.
How you doing?
Pretty good. How are you?
Very well. Joe Eppele, nice to meet you. Yeah.
Gryba, nice to meet you.
You guys are big.
My name's Eric Gryba. This is Big Joe.
Joe Eppele right here.
I've played some hockey in my life, played a little bit in the NHL. Joe's a retired CFL football player, as you can tell by the size of him. And yeah, we're here to play some hockey with you guys today.
All right, guys, I'm not a hockey player, so I'm gonna be counting on you here. Man, you guys are quick. Oh, what a save. A little bit about me. I grew up in a small town called Squamish. I was a really overweight young kid, and everybody told me because I was growing so fast that I'd never be that good at sports. And I took that as motivation. I kind of turned it around, and I said, you know what, if people tell me I can't do something, I want to make this into a different opportunity. So I changed my story and, you know, put a lot of hard work into it. And, you know, from there I went down. I got a full ride scholarship to Washington State, played football down there for four years. And then after that, I was drafted first round in the CFL draft, 2010. The biggest crown of my achievements in my athletic career was that, you know, I got to be a part of the 100th Grey Cup team when we won at home in Toronto. Should have brought my ring out for you guys, but I already told the guys that next year when I come out, I'm going to bring my ring so you guys can see my Grey Cup ring next time I'm out here.
Oh, get it. Joe, you forgot the puck. Nice turnover. I turned it over into the back of our net. There we go. I grew up in Saskatchewan, started playing hockey from a really young age. Skill didn't come naturally to me. Everything that I have in terms of my skill sets is from hard work. So I'm really not naturally that smart or that skilled, but I just worked harder than a lot of people, and I got to where I am today because of that. And I was very coachable. The coach could tell me something and I would soak it up and I'd listen and I'd learn from that. Where I played with lots of guys that were significantly more talented than me, but they thought that they knew everything and they were the best. And I just soaked it up, listened, and constantly learned and constantly got better. And eventually, you know, I achieved my goals of making it to the NHL and having a career there. So throughout your whole life, there's going to be opportunities that are going to arise. If you constantly are taking advantage of those positive things in your life and those positive opportunities, eventually that's just slowly going to snowball and it's going to build into something awesome. You don't know what it is yet, but it'll be worth it in the end.
And not only just being ready for those positive opportunities, but also when adversity comes and, you know, you have these challenges that show up, finding ways to overcome them. So when that adversity shows up, when an athlete has an injury or when something happens and, you know, they may be bumped down, they're no longer a starter, certain people will fold at that point in time and say, okay, you know what, I'm obviously not good enough to be here. But the best athletes, the best businessmen, the best individuals are the ones that see that as an opportunity to turn things around and say, you know what, everybody's saying I can't do this, and dig your feet in and work through it. And I guarantee if you take that attitude, you're going to come out better on the other side every single time. You might not always get the outcome that you want, but I guarantee as a person, as a whole, you'll be that much more ready for every time adversity strikes again.
Everyone thumbs up.
Eric Gryba and myself, Joe Eppele, are up here with Kisslinger Outfitters in northern Saskatchewan chasing giant black bears. We rolled into camp a little late today, but we heard the bears been hitting the baits hard, so we're getting in and we're hoping that things are going to turn out great.
So, within about 10 minutes of being in the stand today, we had a nice boar come in and decided to pass on him. And it's been haunting me a little bit, but it just didn't feel right to draw it back that early in the hunt. So we still got a lot of action going on the bait, and I'm really hoping that I don't come to regret that decision. But it is what it is. You make your decisions and you live by it. So fingers crossed it all comes together. we're set up out here. I got my Prime CP9 and Victory arrows and my Montec broadheads, and this is my first time with this setup, and I'm really excited to put it to the test.
Within the first hour, we had at least 9 bears coming in. Steve tried to tell us how amazing it was up here, and we weren't sure if he was overselling it. And you try and set your expectations coming in, not wanting to, get too excited. And I have to say that it completely exceeded every expectation on every level when I got in there.
Hey guys, welcome to a Grilling with Gryba quick clip. I am doing Japanese caribou kebabs today. This is a great recipe that can be used for any dark wild game, beef, bison, any red meat like that. This is a recipe that can do it all. So I'm gonna show you step by step how I do my Japanese caribou kebabs. So we're gonna use diced onion, 2 full diced onions. We have our onions in there. Next, we're gonna do 4 cloves of crushed garlic. What I like to do is use my knife, press down, and from there, you can dice it up into smaller pieces. Next thing that's gonna go into the base for the marinade is fresh ginger. This fresh ginger is really gonna complement the wasabi that's gonna go in shortly. And we're gonna use approximately a tablespoon of fresh ginger. Next thing going into our marinade is sambal olok, which is a chili garlic paste. Be found at any store. This is gonna give it a little bit of spice, a little bit of kick. Next we have is a tablespoon of dry mustard. Throw that in there. Next I'm gonna put in is a tube of wasabi. You can put in 2 tubes if you want, and don't be afraid to do that because a lot of times this marinade will not pick up the wasabi as much as you think it's going to. It's not gonna be nearly as spicy. So I'll throw in some wasabi. Next is 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire, Worcester, whatever it is. 2 tablespoons of this is gonna go in. Next, we're gonna put in 3 tablespoons of rice vinegar. This rice vinegar is gonna give it a little bit of tang, a little bit of bite, and you're really gonna enjoy this. Throw that in. All right, we're gonna put in half a cup of sesame oil. Sesame oil has a higher burning temperature, so when you're grilling red meats and you wanna have that charred on the outside, using this is not gonna make it charred too much. So a little bit of sesame oil. Okay, and that sesame oil, to clarify, is normal cooking sesame oil. If you use Asian sesame oil, it is going to be way too strong. So use normal cooking sesame oil. I can't stress that one enough. I've made that mistake in the past. To give it a little bit of sweetness, we're gonna use some maple syrup. This can be to taste. How sweet you want it is how much you're gonna put in. I like to put in about half a cup. Next, we're gonna put in 2 tablespoons of ground pepper. And we're using 4 peppercorn ground pepper here. And then we're gonna do, because we have soy sauce, I'm only gonna put a tablespoon of salt in here. You can always add salt, but you can never take salt away. So be very careful over salting your marinades. So we have that there. Next, I'm gonna cut up my caribou. So I'm going to just cut the meat around the bone. I don't usually use steak for kebabs, but it's your lucky day. Or actually, no, it's my lucky day because I get to eat it. Bones. As you can tell here, caribou meat is very, very red. And that is because it has such a high iron content. It's gonna show up even more when it's cooked. It's gonna have a very, very red center. That's why I recommend using a meat thermometer, because it can be misleading and you think you haven't cooked it enough because of the red center and the iron content in the meat, but you've actually cooked enough. So you can sometimes overcook caribou because you think it's not cooked enough because of the redness of the meat. So use a thermometer. We're gonna cut these into approximately 1-inch cubes so they can be skewered after they come out of the marinade. And having a consistency in the cubes is huge, especially with red meat. because you want to have them all cooked the same. You don't want big pieces that are undercooked and little pieces that are overcooked. So here now we have 1-inch cubes of caribou meat. We're gonna throw it in the marinade. I'm gonna mix up these ingredients really, really well because you have ingredients such as wasabi and that grated ginger that can sometimes get stuck in select pockets and select areas. So you wanna make sure it's mixed up very, very well so you're getting a consistency throughout. Okay, that looks good. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna seal this up. I'm gonna throw this in the fridge overnight and it's gonna be ready to grill tomorrow. What you can also use is a Ziploc bag. I just prefer to use these sealable containers, but it's a personal preference. Anyway, I'll see you at the grill. All right, guys, we have our Japanese style caribou kebabs. These have been marinated overnight in the fridge. I'm gonna throw these on the grill at 375 for approximately 15 minutes. I wanna hit that internal temperature of 145. I'm gonna treat this just like I would steak. So I want medium rare in the middle. I want a charred outside. I'm gonna throw these on the grill right now and I'll show you inside what it looks like. Our Japanese caribou kebabs are off the grill, done to perfection. I would say obviously, but I've screwed up enough dishes where it is not obvious. These smell incredible. Again, this is a recipe that can be used on several types of red meat in terms of bison, beef, caribou, venison, whatever you want. This is a fantastic recipe. So this is gonna be fresh off the skewer. There we go, nice and tender. And there you have it, folks, a wonderful caribou dish that can be served to anybody. And try and have somebody tell you that that is wild game. It could fool just about anybody. I appreciate all you watching. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and Twitter to follow all the cool stuff that I'm doing. I also have a lot of these recipes on ericgryba.com. Thanks for watching.
It's gotta be broadside. That was unbelievable. We had a great shot, I think. He was sitting there, I was able to assess his size, assess his age. He's a big, mature boar. That was so good. I'm shaking, oh God.
Well, blood on the old victory arrow here. I feel it was a really clean shot. Obviously lots of like good dark blood on the arrow. I don't think it's be far. We find blood. I think I heard him crash down in the bush already, so. That's a lot of blood. Blood on the fingers, it's a good start. I don't think he went far.
Look at the size of that bear.
He's down. I don't think he went more than 30 yards and expired. Couldn't be more pleased. This is awesome. Well, that was unbelievable. Big, mature black bear. I think he's probably around 7. Clean, ethical kill.
I don't think he went more than a minute and ran more than 30 yards, and he expired. So great experience. I'm gonna remember this one forever. Kisslinger Outfitting obviously set me up huge. The work they put in here is noticeable, and that's huge when you're coming to outfits like this. Huge thanks to Kisslinger Outfitting and all of our awesome sponsors. It's because of you guys that we're able to come out here and do all this awesome stuff. He's, I think, 7 years old, and he's massive.
Good work. That's amazing.
We were like 10, 15 minutes, and I launched an arrow. He went literally 30 yards, died within a minute.
Remember what I said last night? I said, you're going to sit in the stand, and within the first little bit, you're going to drop one, and it's going to go 30 yards.
Yeah.
Called it.
I know.
That's unreal.
Beautiful bear, beautiful memories. But up next, I'm gonna take you to the kitchen and we're gonna cook up some of this bear meat. So I'm gonna give you guys a new recipe you probably haven't tried at home, and hope you enjoy. I'll see you in a bit.
Hey guys, welcome to the kitchen. Today we're doing a Korean-style black bear ribs.
We've had 9 bears come in so far, and it doesn't show any sign of slowing down. If the right bear comes in, I'm not gonna hesitate.
The Edge is brought to you by Browning Canada, Canadian Tire, G5 Broadheads, Prime Archery, High Mountain Seasonings, Hornady, Victory Archery, The Carbon Arrow Experts, Vortex Canada, Wolverine Guns and Tackle, Modular Driven Technologies, Sticks and Stones Anglers and Hunters, Off Grid Food Company, and these fine sponsors.
Live on